Our player tip of the podcast is, don't be a dick. And you can avoid dickitude by giving your mundane equipment a history.
Wow, it's almost like that was the whole point of this.
Right, I know. Your characters aren't the only way to tell a great story. Items themselves can have just as interesting lore and story as your character. Tying them in together makes it even better. This is very common in some of the most memorable stories ever told. In my opinion, the greatest example is the story of King Arthur and the Sword and the Stone, which is not Excalibur, people.
Nope.
Excalibur. It's not Excalibur.
Yeah, it's not Excalibur, right? The sword itself is only significant because of the story behind it, right?
Yep.
Which ties directly into Arthur becoming the king. In this example, both stories are tied together by, which is pretty much otherwise a very just mundane weapon that was put into a sword, right? Or into a stone.
Mm-hmm.
Do that with your character's equipment. How did you get that shield? Why does it have that crest on it? Ooh, I saw new pictures of our Aquaman dressed as Kraven the Hunter, and he's got the big giant lion thing over. Yeah, he's got the big giant lion thing. Why is your character wearing that? Well, he's a barbarian. I was like, did you slay the lion? I mean, yes, with my bare hands. Why else would I be wearing its flesh as a overcoat?
Yeah, you gotta because otherwise, why? It's like, oh, I got it from the supermarket down the store. No, you didn't.
Fantasy Costco.
You probably killed the thing, right? And then tell us how you killed it. What'd you do?
Well, not even going through that. Just the fact that you have a whole piece of armor that's basically, when it's buttoned up, looks like the head of a lion. That's going to draw attention. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be a topic for discussion. You need to tie that stuff into your character. Make it in mundane equipment. Why is your rope green?
That's a good point.
It's made of hemp. But everyone's going to ask why your rope is green. Well, when you get bored, you snip off an end.
That's actually a different kind of hemp.
What the? Don't bring science into my fucking fantasy, dude.
We've had this conversation
Ruining my shit.
Like a month ago.
What do you think about this, Casey?
I completely agree. And what better way to do it than to roll on a D100 table of items, item history.
Yeah, wow.
Buddy.
It's almost like we centered this podcast around this thing.
Yeah. Very cool. And it doesn't have to be a sword. It doesn't have to be your armor. It could be your shoes. It could be a bracelet your character wears.
Just be like a pauldron.
Like in the Stormlight Archives, the females, one of their hands is always gloved. It's called their safe hand, right? Instead of wearing a ring for marriage, they cover their hands up because it's very sensual or whatever. Something like that. If a character showed up with a gloved hand like a mitten, people are gonna ask about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the middle of summer. What are you doing? Yeah.
Well, in my culture, you see, this is a very risque sort of thing to show. And you know how the ladies used to stick their leg out? You're sticking your finger out to entice people.
Whereas everybody else, by the other culture, kind of probably it's a hand. It's the same as your right hand.
This one's special. But anyways, it doesn't have to be the weapon or equipment. So consider other equipment that you're carrying. Maybe your backpack's special.
Yeah.
So, hey, thank you so much for all your support and watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. We are the hosts of the Crit Academy, a Dungeons & Dragons discussion podcast.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button.
And be sure to ring that bell. Get our latest content as we toss it out there. And it's good stuff.
Everyone loves fat loots and great D&D inspiration. Keep your blade sharp and spells prepared, heroes.